Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551, and I am back with a video game review. And for this review, I'm going to be taking a look at South Park Fractured But Whole for the PS4, along with, and I got this because this was the gold edition, the full Stick of Truth, as you can see back here, as well for the PS4. Also for Xbox One and PC, and if you're interested in either Fractured But Whole gameplay or Stick of Truth gameplay, you can check out in the link in the description of this video though. As far as South Park video games go, I've hardly even played, maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot. The ones that I can remember a while back were back during the N64 era, like the original South Park developed by the now defunct Acclaim, which sort of kind of gave off a bit of that Turok. The gameplay was similar to that of Turok Dinosaur Hunter, to I think South Park Rally, to South Park Chef Love Stack. But I never really got into those games though. As far as the TV show though, I'm not the hugest South Park fan, but there are episodes that I do find that were really funny in any way, whether it's the one where Randy tries to go get legalized marijuana and tries to get testosterone cancer or anything like that, to the one where everybody thinks that the UPS guy is sleeping with their wives and he beat him up. They also make fun of Bridge Home Security and go as far as wearing the Bane mask from The Dark Knight Rises, or some of the other ones, such as when the kids want to win Terrence and Phillip dolls, but they have to it's sort of hard for them to win because the games are sort of rigged. They don't know about that, and they go as far as trying to win like a bull riding contest. Cartman rides a mechanical bull. He gets flung off, hits like a pinball machine, suffers a concussion, and suddenly thinks, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, it's just funny, thinks he's a Vietnamese prostitute called Mean Ling or something like that. The show is funny and it's controversial at times, but it is funny though. As far as video games go, up to before Fractured But Whole or Stick of Truth comes out, to me it kind of falls into the category of, you know what, it's a licensed game and probably not going to be good or anything like that though. And I didn't play Stick of Truth until like when I purchased Fractured But Whole, mostly because at the time I was opposed of anything Ubisoft was putting out, given some of the BS they pulled out. So when Fractured But Whole finally came out, I decided to give the game a go, along with Stick of Truth as well. And after playing the game for a couple of weeks, I have to say, for a licensed game, this is actually good. I did not expect this to be good, but it actually was. Before I begin the review, I do want to point out though that this was released last year. I didn't get a chance to review it. I wish I did and all that stuff, but stuff came up. But either way, but in either case, while it's not going to basically be like, while it's not perfect though, as far as a licensed game, this is actually good. This is surprisingly good for a licensed game indeed. So why don't we get started with the pros and the cons. So we'll get started first with the pros, and I have to say the first one is the visuals. While the visuals aren't mind-blowing or anything like that, I gotta give credit to Ubisoft for basically making the game have that look and feel of the South Park TV show. The whole animation, from the animations and so on, it looks like watching an episode of South Park, and I gotta give Ubisoft credit that they gave off that look and feel to it in a way. The next one I do want to talk about is gameplay, and the gameplay in the game is actually good, both Fractured But Whole and Stick of Truth though. Stick of Truth follows more of the RPG, and to some degree follows more like the Mario RPGs in a way though, which is, it's basic and simple, and that's actually not a bad thing. While Fractured But Whole follows what looks like a grid-like RPG, kind of similar to what Fire Emblems and Advance Wars would be, but maybe a little bit of XCOM as well, as you sort of move your character and kind of line them up to attack the other character, but you also have to watch out because if you get in there, you get into the enemy's line of fire, they can attack you and take your character out, though. So both games have different gameplay mechanics, though, but both have an RPG kind of mechanics, and both are pretty fun, though. I like the Mario RPG route in Stick of Truth, and I certainly like the Fractured But Whole grid-like RPG in a way. So overall, from the gameplay perspective, it certainly is solid, especially in the combat part, though. And last but not least, in terms of story, though, I have to say the story, like I said, I'm not the biggest South Park fan, but it is kind of funny, though. I think the humor is definitely good. I like the fact that Stick of Truth makes fun of stuff like those Lord of the Rings and so on, while Fractured But Whole makes fun of, the whole superhero movie genre, especially since this one has sort of kind of pokes fun at Captain America Civil War in a way, though. But it is definitely funny. I mean, yes, it's South Park humor. The South Park humor will probably not appeal to everybody, though. But there were times when I did find the jokes funny, and I certainly were laughing. Especially in Fractured But Whole, when you get to use the new kid and press the triangle button. Keep in mind, this is the PS4 version I'm talking about, where you push, I think, the triangle button, and the kid does the fart, and it's just funny just going around pulling that in front of everybody and just seeing what kind of reaction they give. It is just freaking hilarious. But overall, story is good, and the humor is also good as well. Alright, so that's definitely good. So overall, good story and good humor indeed. Alright, we're going to take a bit of a break, and when we get back, we're going to get to the cons for South Park, Stick of Truth, and Fractured But Whole. So, take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video review of excuse me 1 second. South Park, Fractured But Whole, and of course, like I said, Stick of Truth, right there as well. Stick of Truth as well for the PS4. And now that I gave you my pros and what I did like about those 2 games, why don't I give you my cons? And there's really only 2 cons that I could think of as far as the game goes that might be a big deal depending on how you want to look at it, though. So we'll start off with the first one, and that is, when I talked about in the pros, I said, though, that the humor in the game is good, and it still is, don't get me wrong. It's classic South Park humor, whether you love it or hate it, though. It's there, though, and the humor is still good, but there are times when some of the jokes just kind of miss the mark a little bit. I mean, there are times where I'm just like, really? It just feels like it sounded good on paper, but it was just executed poorly. So, to me, there are some jokes in the game that are kind of a hit and miss, and may not click with a lot of people, though. It doesn't mean it ruins the humor or anything like that, It's just some of the jokes sort of miss their mark, and like I said, some of the humor may not appeal to everybody, to be exact. So some of the jokes are good, but some of them miss the mark on that one. And last but not least, the other negative, and this may be because I never played Stick of Truth when it originally came out, I'm just starting to play that, along with Fractured But Whole, is sort of navigating your character. Now, what I mean by that is, as I said in the pros, I talked about how the game captures that look and feel of South Park, and it does, and that's not a bad thing at all. Though it's in its classic 2D style animation, or the animation that South Park is known for, though, and it certainly isn't bad. I mean, like I said, it captures that look and feel. That said, there are times in the game, not hugely, but there are times when, as far as navigation goes, where sometimes it does feel like, is my character lined up in terms of entering that room, or if I'm, have to move something over and all that stuff. So navigation in the game, both Stick of Truth and Fractured But Whole, can be a little bit difficult at times. Eventually I was able to understand and get what was going on, but there were times when I find it a little bit difficult to navigate my character around in the game, though. combat is not a big deal or anything like that. With Stick of Truth, combat is turn-based and all, and you can see what's going on very clearly, so that wasn't a problem. Fractured but Whole isn't an issue either because you're moving your characters in a grid, and you'll see where exactly your character's attacks will land and what damage it does. So it's combat-wise isn't the problem. It's navigation, which can be a bit of a problem at certain times. Does it ruin the game completely? No, it doesn't. But it does make navigation can be difficult for some people who are just starting to play this game in a way, though. Overall, South Park Fractured But Whole and Stick of Truth, though, is actually a very good game. I was actually very impressed with how well this licensed game was done, though. It does make me kind of wish I played Stick of Truth when that originally came out, though, so it was a little disappointed I didn't play it back then, but I'm glad I'm playing it now. And it is, as far as a licensed game, actually a really good one, which is very amazing in a time when you see licensed games that are just, you know, just quick cash-ins and all that stuff. But I'm glad Ubisoft put time and effort into this game, though. Like I said, the humor is not going to be for everybody, though, and navigation through the game can be difficult at times, though. But for the majority of the But for the majority of the time, I actually had fun with it, and I was chuckling a bit at some of the jokes inside the game. So, if you're a South Park fan, it's definitely worth a recommendation. And if you like, you know, if you like RPGs and all that stuff, this one is worth a try, though. Again, it may not be for everyone, but as far as a licensed games goes, Fractured But Whole and Stick of Truth are really good licensed games, though. And it's definitely one of those licensed games where you can play and actually enjoy it, though, compared to other licensed games out there. But bottom line, Fractured But Whole is definitely a fun game, so is Stick of Truth, and it's worth checking out, at least from my opinion, though. Okay, this concludes this video review of South Park Fractured But Whole and Stick of Truth, and again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about South Park Fractured But Whole and Stick of Truth? Have you played those games yet? Have you not played it, though? Do you enjoy the game? Do you think the gameplay is good? Do you think it's bad? Did you pick up the Gold Edition and got Stick of Truth? Or have you not picked that up yet and are waiting for when Stick of Truth comes out separately, which I believe there's a report about that going on. Did you agree with my review? Did you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to. And feel free to donate to my channel if you like. It could be through PayPal Me or Patreon. Links in the description of this video. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!